My friend here made $30 million online from sales, and you can see the proof of it here behind. ClickFunnels, this is a website which tracks all of this. He is all Dutch entrepreneur, right? One of the biggest Dutch entrepreneurs online.
Depends who you compare me with, but...
Well, when I bring him to the gym, people are like, I know you, you're the biggest in the Netherlands in this scene, right? And then you are an investor. And you're teaching people how to invest and make money online.
Yeah.
Right?
True.
Can you share more about your story?
Until 2017, I worked in Silicon Valley, United States, like the mecca of technology companies. And this was like my childhood dream to work for a very big tech company, to build some kind of revolutionary technology. During my teenage years, I actually did my best to get some decent grades in school. Of course, at the same time, I also partied a lot. I enjoyed my student times. Mm-hmm. But I always had this vision in mind. I wanted to go somewhere in life. And for me, the end destination was landing a high-paying job in Silicon Valley and climbing the corporate ladder.
Bad education.
Huh?
Bad education.
Yeah, no, I mean... no one was showing me my dad is an entrepreneur, but he didn't want me to become an entrepreneur because of the cyclical nature of business. He has gone through ups and downs, and he just wanted me to have some kind of stability that he never really had. Mm-hmm. Same with my mom. My mom was an orphan when she came to the Netherlands at 11 years old, so she also went through a rough childhood, and she wanted me to have the stable life that she never had. So both of my parents pushed me towards getting a stable corporate job, basically.
So you went to university and all the...
I did, yeah, I went to university, actually did 2 degrees, then landed my job. Mm-hmm. And then after 1.5 years of being in the corporate life, I came to the realization that this was not for me at all. I was going to the office every morning at 6 a.m.
What's a good job, by the way? Like, how much money were you making then?
I would say the starting salary in Silicon Valley is somewhere around 100K.
That's really
and 100K today gets you a lot less than 100K in 2017 because of inflation. So but imagine if everyone around you is making 100K plus, it also means that the prices in Silicon Valley are very expensive, because you're poor with 100K, so it doesn't say anything. Yeah. So every morning I would go to the office at 6 a.m. I would try to arrive before my boss, and every night I would go home at 9 p.m. I was too tired to even make some healthy food for myself. I just ate some junk food, watched some Netflix, and went to bed, and the same day it was on repeat again for 6-7 days per week. And I just felt completely trapped in the rat race. Like, I've been working so hard my whole life to get stuck in the rat race, and I felt like my parents betrayed me, society betrayed me, the whole education system betrayed me, like the whole vision they sold me about what I would get by doing my best within the system wasn't something that would make me happy. So throughout my lunch breaks, I would scroll through Instagram, and I saw couples traveling the world, running their businesses from their laptop with a coconut in one hand, with their feet in like light blue water. And I was like, that's what I want. And not the life that I have right now. I want to be free. I want to go on cool adventures. I want to do something else and be inside of the office the rest of my life.
The guy who hates Instagram was inspired by Instagram a while ago.
I know. Instagram really influences your thinking. Even now, today, I'm still addicted to Instagram. You scroll through Instagram, the algorithm knows exactly what you like, what you dislike, and it changes your perception of reality. At that point in time, it made me realize how much I hated being in the corporate life and how much I wanted to have another life. So I called up my parents, told them that I wanted to quit my job, obviously.
How long was this phase of, like, I guess when you got a job, it was high, and then it was like depressing, right?
Yeah, I think for the first 9 months I did every single thing I could in order to climb the corporate ladder. Like I would try to get as much, how would you say, responsibilities and tasks towards me so that I would become irreplaceable. And slowly but surely, like a lot of managers started to notice, like, okay, this guy is promising. He can actually do stuff that other people are not able of executing.
They love you, I guess.
Yeah. So I made a lot of, I had a lot of growth during my time in that company in the first 1.5 years. I went from basically being the coffee boy, making everyone's coffee and just doing spreadsheets, to slowly managing a team of 40 senior engineers and a project with $500 million in funding. So from the outside, everyone was telling me that life was great, that I made it, and I was living the dream. But in reality, every morning I stared, I stared into the, how do you call it, the mirror, and I had a really confrontational experience. Like I wasn't happy with who I was and what I was doing at that point in time. I felt like an empty shell. So I had to change my life. So from one day to the other, called my parents. I said, guys, I know you're gonna call me crazy because I've worked so hard to achieve this, but yeah, I'm gonna quit and I'm going to become an online entrepreneur. So yeah.
Which for them sounds like a magician, I guess, or something ridiculous.
Very abstract, very abstract. So my dad, as I mentioned, he is an entrepreneur, but he used to import car and truck parts. So very physical commerce. So yeah, the whole online world is of course super.
It's a joke.
It's a joke. Yeah, he didn't really understand it, comprehend it, what I wanted to do. Neither did I actually know what I wanted to do. Yeah. So I had to move back to Europe because my visa expired because I quit my job in the US. So I moved back to Barcelona, and in Barcelona I tried to do everything I could to make my first online money. So I tried, I think, 4 or 5 different business models, like from drop shipping to trading to whatever, affiliate marketing, and nothing really clicked for me. I didn't really make it.
Courses and stuff, or how did you?
No, you watch some YouTube videos, you check out some Instagram pages, you read some blogs online, and you're trying to figure everything out yourself. I would say now, many years ahead in time, I am addicted to investing in myself, investing in coaches, mentors, programs, whatever. I think in total I invested more than $200,000 in my own education, but at that point in time, I was very stubborn. I didn't want to pay for coaching, didn't want to pay for mentorship.
It didn't exist back then, I think.
It did exist.
It did exist?
It did exist.
Okay. I remember the phase also when I was like trying to figure out everyone, but no one offered coaching. I was just like, oh, he's making money selling this PDF or things like that, right?
No, it existed. In 2017, it very much existed. It was already a very thriving industry, the online education industry. Yeah. Especially like you had Ty Lopez, Grant Cardone. Oh, yeah. They were advertising so hard. Every third video you would see on social media was basically them advertising. Okay. So there were options to buy programs, but I was just too stubborn. I think that has to do with the fact that if you graduate university, you sort of feel special. You have your piece of paper, your degree, and you think you're smart, so you want to prove to the world that you are actually smart, and that's why you want to figure everything out yourself. I think that's actually a toxic mentality. It means that you assume that you're smarter than someone else who has already cracked the code and is getting the results.
With experience.
Yeah, with their experience.
I truly believe it's a scam.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. How many people do you hire?
What do you mean?
How many people do you have working under you?
I'm very proud to have a lean team right now. So
But you hired many people.
Many people, yeah.
How often do you look at their degree?
Actually, not at all. Yeah, not at all. So for me, what's the most important is mindset.
Yeah.
So I believe skills, you can easily teach skills to anyone, as long as they have the right mindset and values, we can form them into an A player.
I look at experience.
Okay.
Is that wrong?
There's multiple paths that you can pursue. You know, you can hire or hijack someone from a competitor, someone who has experience. But I also like homegrown talent.
Yeah.
It takes a little bit more effort. But when I sit down with someone for a period of 6 to 9 months and I invest in their growth, in their skills, and I mentor them, I know that probably the commitment to our company is much bigger. They exactly know how we operate. They're part of the culture. They do things exactly how we would like them to do.
Yeah.
So I enjoy to work a lot with homegrown talent. And they stick. Like currently, I believe the average retention rate for a team member within a company is around 3 years. My team members stay way longer than that because they're so invested in the vision, they're invested in the culture. We have invested a lot in them as a person, in their personal growth. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. Continue your story.
So I tried everything. I was too stubborn. So at one point, after around 9 months, more or less, I burned through practically all my savings. I went from having a really great, high-paying job, saving, stability, to burning through all of my savings within a period of 9 months, and all of my friends telling me that I should have just stayed at my corporate job in Silicon Valley. And yeah, I was even thinking about calling up my old boss and asking him if he would still have like a spot available for me within his team, because I always did my best for them and I got them great results. Fortunately, I didn't do that. I came up with a different idea. I started a podcast. This was in 2017. At that point, Facebook groups were really happening. Now Facebook, I would say, is generally mostly used by older people, like my parents-in-law, like they're all on Facebook. But back in the days, everyone was on Facebook, and Facebook groups were really good. And Facebook just released a feature called Facebook Live. So rather than doing a traditional podcast where you pre-record something and then you upload it to some kind of podcast distribution network or YouTube, I actually did live podcast within a Facebook group. And every time that I went live, all of my friends, everyone in my network got a notification, because Facebook really wanted to push this feature super hard. So I started interviewing like the guy on the corner with a little corner shop, a grocery shop, to slowly getting more and better guests on my podcast, to interviewing millionaires, billionaires, New York Yankee Hall of Famers, like really great names. And my group started to skyrocket. We went from 0 to 30,000 followers in like 3 months' time.
You say it like it's so easy, but like you don't get to a billionaire this easily.
No, but you need to understand, if you're building a group, if you're building a community, a tribe, or almost like an online cult of people that love the vision, love what you're building, then it is no longer your own effort that pushes the community forward, but also community members that start to make introductions for you on your behalf. So I had like a group of moderators, like 5 moderators, and they would literally scout people for me to interview, and they would book, they would fill up my agenda with really great guests.
For free?
For free, because they enjoyed being part of the journey. But that is only if you, and look, it sounds really great what I did, but the reality was I was being burnt out super hard, because for 3, 4, 5, 6 months straight, I was engaging for 10 hours in the Facebook group. I was doing podcasts. I was just online, switched on, engaging with everyone consistently. And I didn't make any money at that point in time. I had all the eyeballs, all the views, all the, the algorithm that loved me. But yeah, in reality, I was just burning out slowly. But there was one guy, actually I got many DMs at that point in time, but there was one guy from the Netherlands who kept on messaging me. He said, Mitchell, we need to hop on a Zoom call. I've got something really interesting to share with you. So I kind of ignored him, because at that point in time, my perspective was I want to go back to Silicon Valley, or I want to go back to the US, because the US is the biggest consumer market. There's most money to be made. I don't want to waste my time on any opportunities in the Netherlands, which in retrospect is a big misconception, because I do believe that it's way better to completely dominate a small niche than to try to compete with the big whales in a very large market.
Blue ocean versus red ocean.
Yeah, exactly. That's blue ocean versus red ocean. So the US in many ways is like a red ocean market. It's like the Champions League of all markets. You're competing with the best entrepreneurs, the best offers, the best sales teams, the best marketeers, everything the best. Whereas if you go into a smaller market, oftentimes there's way less competition and you can grow super fast, real quick, and completely dominate it and dominate the market and swallow up everything. Anyways, this guy kept on messaging me. He said, Mitchell, we need to talk. At one point, he was just annoying me. So I told him, look, let's hop on this Zoom call and I'll listen to you. But if this doesn't work for me, then I don't want you to ever message me again. That's literally what I said to him. So we hopped on this Zoom call. Yeah, that doesn't open that quickly. So we hopped on the Zoom call. And he showed me, he explained what he was doing. So he found a system to spot profitable products in China and to sell them on autopilot through a very large e-commerce platform in the Netherlands. And he was refreshing his phone and he was showing me that he was making hundreds, if not thousands per day. And at that point, I wasn't making any money. So I was like, interesting.
Hundreds of what?
Euros, hundreds or thousands or even 10,000s of euros per day. So yeah, I was very curious and I told him like, okay, why are you contacting me if you're making so much money? He said, well, I have a skill and you know how to market because you grew this community from 0 to 30,000 members within no time, and I'm seeing how well you're managing this community. I want to partner up with you.
You did it all in Dutch, right?
No.
The community is in English?
Yeah, it's international, yeah. Digital Nomad Accelerator, that's how it was called at that point in time. So I asked him like, hey, do you know anyone that teaches this system in the Netherlands? And he said, I've done some superficial research and there's no one teaching this system in the Netherlands. So that's why I'm reaching out to you, because I feel like there's a big opportunity. So I told him, hey, you know what? I don't like to go into business with someone and then later down the line we need to dissolve the business because it doesn't really work out and there's no demand. So how about this? We make a beta group, and this week or in the next 2 weeks we're going to try to sell 20 people access to a beta group where you're going to sell your program or you're going to teach your skills to other people. And if we can get 20 people in the next 2 weeks, then we're going to work together, because then it means our idea is validated. In the next 3 days, we sold, I think, 60 people for €200 each. And yeah, we way outseeded our initial target. We sold 3 times more people in just 3 days than we imagined to do in 2 weeks' time.
Wait, 200 times 60, how much is that?
200 times 60 is, what is it, 12,000? 12,000. But at that point in time, it was the easiest 12,000 we ever made.
And that's for selling a course or what, coaching?
That was coaching, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So But then we had to deliver it. We had to record the program. We had to transfer our knowledge and skills to our group of participants. And slowly but surely we saw that they were also getting really great results. So we then used those results to get more people into the program. We shared results on our Instagram, our social media. We got even more people into the program. And then we sort of maxed out our organic reach.
Group coaching, right?
Yeah, it was group coaching, yeah.
For $200, that's a steal.
Yeah, and then slowly but surely we started to increase the price because it was an absolute no-brainer for everyone to learn how to make 10K per month and only pay $200 in tuition fee. So we very rapidly started to ramp up the tuition fee. And then we ran into a problem. We already sold everyone in our network, so we had to advertise. So I took on the responsibility to learn how to advertise. We invested in a program. We invested in some one-on-one mentorship. It was at that point in time, the most expensive mentorship I ever paid. I invested like $1,000 for 1 hour with Dan Henry at that point in time. And I had massive limiting beliefs, like how can I pay $1,000 for 1 hour with someone? That's so much money. But in the end, it was one of my best investments ever.
Why did you do it then? If you had a limiting beliefs.
Why?
Yeah.
Because my business partners.
They forced you to do it.
They basically, they got me to the point.
They sold you.
They didn't really sold me, but they made me open to the idea of just trying it out. Because if you look at it, the worst case scenario, you lose $1,000, but we would make back $1,000 anyways. In the best case scenario, that $1,000 would allow us to remove many of our obstacles and hurdles and allow us to go into a next phase of bigger growth where we would make even more money.
Yeah.
And I would say that $1,000, because I had one-on-one coaching for 1 hour and I asked him all of the hard questions that I couldn't figure out myself, I think within the first 9 months of our business, we hit $1 million of revenue. I think one of those plates, the lower one in 2019, that was the first $1 million award that we got, because we got from 0 to $1 million in revenue in 9 months' time. And afterwards, I kept on pushing the limits more and more and more of how you can advertise, of how much you can spend and still be profitable. So at one point we were spending like more than $150,000 per month. Every third video that you saw in the Netherlands on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, there was always us. Like, people would go nuts because of our ads. Like, I would say 60% of all people would hate us, but the other 40% would totally love us and like the mission, like the vision, like everything that we're saying. And we're very polarizing, which is good. But my business partner at one point in time, he couldn't even walk the streets of the Netherlands anymore. Like, every third person was pointing at him, recognizing him from the ads.
Do I know him?
Probably, yeah. His name is Charwan. He's like a Dutch-Chinese entrepreneur. Like, his face was everywhere, 2017, 2018.
Your face was also...
No. I was behind the
Charlie
scenes.
was like messaging you. He was the annoying guy.
Yeah. And then we had to move to Valencia because he had more privacy there. Less people would recognize him, but still a lot of Dutch people that would go on holiday would still recognize him there on the streets. And then, we had a penthouse office in Valencia overlooking the ocean. We had 20 staff members. We were all living in the same street. Like, we were renting houses next to each other, and our penthouse office was at the end of the street.
Wait, from 0 to 1 million from ads?
Yeah, 0 to 1 million in 9 months, and then to 10 million within 3 years' time.
So ads.
Yeah.
That's was the thing for you.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, it's a combination between having a good product, having a good message, and running ads to scale really hard. And of course, having a really great delivery system, customer support. Yeah.
Are ads, would you still recommend doing ads now?
It depends on your business. I myself, I don't run ads anymore, even though back in the days we would totally dominate the market with ads. But it depends on your business model. For me nowadays, I'm in crypto mining, and the algorithm doesn't really like crypto or mining in general.
But you still believe ads is...
Oh yeah, totally. And in fact, I would say that you don't have a business unless you can go on holiday for 3 months, you can turn on your ads, and when you come back, every dollar is multiplied in at least $3, $4, $5. Otherwise, you have a job, not a business.
That's a quote.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's something that one of my mentors told me when I was running my Facebook groups, and I told him like, yeah, but I have so much organic traffic. Look, I've got so much engagement within my community. He's like, all right, but can you go on holiday for 1 month, and can you come back and having more money in your bank account while enjoying a pina colada on the beach? And my answer was no, and it triggered me so hard that I completely changed my way of thinking. Like, it's all about creating leverage for yourself. Yeah.
Continue the story. Penthouses.
Yeah, so we had a penthouse office in Valencia, Spain. We were overlooking the ocean. Life was good. At least that's what people thought from the outside. But the problem was I had 2 business partners, and my business partners actually were already making the amount of money, which I call it your freedom number. If you achieve a certain amount of money, you feel like the necessity of making more money kind of fades away.
You lose drive.
Yeah, you lose your drive. They were very content. But I wanted to grow the company even further, harder, 10x, international expansion. And we weren't really aligned anymore after growing a company from 0 to 10 million. Because yeah, 10 million sounds great, but that's revenue. I would say of 10 million, maybe 3 million is profit. You need to split that with your partners. So I had 2 business partners, split it 3 ways. You had to pay taxes. So, I mean, that's not enough money in order to pay for your family or to make sure that your family is well off for the rest of your life. So that's just the start. That was just the warming up for me.
Depends where you invested.
Sure, but if you're just a rookie entrepreneur, you're making your first money online, you are not yet a great investor. That's the next phase in your development. So good. Yeah, my 2 business partners and I, we were all developing in totally different ways. One of my business partners wanted to settle down, travel the world. The other one wanted to start a family, and I wanted to just grow the company, double, triple, 10x, whatever, 100x. So I was super eager to work, and we were not compatible anymore after 3 years of working together. So at one point I offered my shares to my 2 business partners. They acquired my shares, and I was really happy that I made that choice because I was really ready for a new chapter in life. So I did 3 exits at the age of 28. So I sold my online education company, I sold a marketing agency and an e-commerce brand. Those were spin-offs from our main company, our education company. And yeah, I had a nice amount of money in my bank account. And yeah, then comes the point in time where you don't know what to do with your money. And you know that if your money is in your bank account, slowly but surely over time, it's losing value due to inflation.
So what did you do after you sold your shares?
I had to figure out life again with a clean slate. And people think and they believe and they romanticize selling a business, but in reality it was one of the hardest things that I've ever done, because you need to start all the way from zero again. People have really high expectations of you, and you're a little bit spoiled because you don't want to do the grinding anymore that you need to do when you're building a business from scratch. So I think I went through like a dark year in my life where I was a little bit depressed. I was trying a few things, nothing worked out. People were having big expectations. I was doubting myself. At the same time, I had some money in my bank account. I had to pay for my living expenses. I had a mortgage on my apartment, and my money in my bank account was only getting less and less and less over time. So I decided I need to become an investor. But investing is something that you don't learn in school. Oftentimes you also don't learn it from your parents because they also didn't learn it in school. So what I did instead was what I call the spray and pray method. So you take your money, you invest it in many different small investments, and you hope that one of those investments will make you super rich. Kind of the golden ticket, the lottery mentality. Because that's really what I did, and what many people do is they approach the market as a casino. They hear stories of people that became really wealthy in the financial markets, and they believe it's luck. But if you approach the market like a casino, I need to be honest, you'll probably lose all your money. And I did too. So all of my 20 investments that I made, I probably lost like the majority of my money because I had no clue what I was doing. I didn't have the right mindset, didn't have the right blueprint, didn't have the right skill set. I had no idea what I was doing. And the market is designed to take the money from unexperienced, impatient investors and to transfer it to the people that actually know what they're doing. So I went back to the drawing board. This time I know that whenever I feel stuck or whenever I feel like I'm lacking the right skills, I try to find the best person in the space. I pay them and I basically learn their system. So I joined a couple of different investing communities. I got an investing coach, and I slowly but surely started to crack the code of how investing actually works. Because I remember this one talk by what's his name, Grant Cardone. Like in 2019, I went to a 10x growth con of Grant Cardone, and he said on stage, if you want to become financially free, there's only 3 things that you need to do. You need to learn how to make money, like learn high income skills. You need to make sure that once you make money, you don't spend all of your money on stupid stuff. So you need to become comfortable to build up a war chest. And number 3 is when you have some excess cash, you need to learn how to put that money to work. So I knew how to make money. I programmed my mind to not spend all of my money. And finally, I had to learn how to multiply my money. So I invested in those skills too. And by the age of 29, I could say that I had a diversified investment portfolio, stocks, bonds, crypto, real estate, some watches. And I was able to live from the income from my investment portfolio. And then people started to ask me like, how did I do that? Like, what was my philosophy? What was my strategy, my blueprint? Because
how do you what?
Investing, building an investment portfolio that you could basically retire off. Out of many questions from my friends, my family members, people in my environment, came a new side project, which I called the Early Retirement Club, which was an online education platform where I taught people how to build a diversified investment portfolio so that they could retire early and would kind of take away some of the financial stress that people are facing in a day-to-day situation and just give them a lot more peace of mind knowing that their finances are secured. That grew really nicely, a couple of hundred students, but it was more of a side project because my real main business still, as of today, is Epic Mining. So what we do is we make Bitcoin mining easy, accessible, and profitable for the average investor. And this also emerged 5 years ago when I was sitting on a terrace in Amsterdam with a group of friends. And do you know how when you're passionate about something, you start to surround yourself with other people who are also passionate about that particular topic? At that point, I was so passionate about investing. Investing became my identity. It became my obsession.
But wait, there is an epiphany moment that I'm missing.
Okay, yeah.
If I know that my money is growing right now and working for me, like literally right now, I don't need to work anymore.
Okay.
And so you got to that point as well, right?
It's like the golden goose. Oh, sorry, the golden goose analogy. So if you have a golden goose and the goose lays an egg. Mm-hmm. Now there's there's two paths that you can take. Number one is you can eat the egg. You can cook a nice omelette and you can eat it, but then the egg is gone. Then you need to wait another day for the goose to lay another egg, which it will. But there's also a second option. If you don't eat his egg, you can use that egg and you can use it to hatch another goose. Mm-hmm. So then you have two geese. And those geese will lay eggs. Mm-hmm. And if you then don't eat those eggs and they multiply, then you have 4 geese. Mm-hmm. So yes, I was in theory able to live entirely from the investment income from my portfolio. Mm-hmm. However, I know that if I just reinvest my investments, over time, my cash flow would grow even bigger. And if there's no necessity for me to retire now and to live off all of my cash flow, then I can use it to make more cash flow. So I've been an entrepreneur for the past 8 years, and I know that I know how to make money. So I don't need to live from my investments. I can, and it's really good to know that if something happens with me, like I either get sick or for what reason I cannot work, I can live from my investments, but I don't have to. It's better to just keep reinvesting and building up the cash flow. But yeah.
Compounding, that's what you're talking about.
Compounding, exactly, yeah, the compound effect. Yeah, I was sitting with a group of friends on a terrace in Amsterdam, and we're all talking about our investments. So one of my friends said that he invested in some stocks for reason X, Y, Z. Maybe the fundamentals changed, or some politician was investing in it, or some large VC fund invested in it, whatever. I was sharing about a crypto project which I invested in, and we just kept on going through the circle, and everyone was sharing their most recent and most the investments that they were most excited about. Until one point, on the other side of the table was sitting a friend of a friend, and I remembered really well. It was a little bit artistic, like cool clothes. He had a hat, like cool glasses, a big beard. He looked like a musician. I think he was a DJ actually. And he took his phone out and he said, "Guys, I recently invested in Bitcoin mining. Look, here's my dashboard. Here you can see how much money I've made in the past 24 hours. And I've made all of this money even while sitting on the terrace with you guys talking about our investments, or even when I'm at home chilling with my girlfriend, or when I'm in the gym, or when I'm in the airplane to the Maldives, whatever. These machines worked for him." And I was shocked because this was 2017 and I felt like I already missed the boat with Bitcoin mining. I thought that was only for people that started in 2009, 2010, 2011, or people that would be super technical or would have millions or billions to invest.
Jeremy, that guy, right?
Yeah. So Jeremy, Da Vinci, Jeremy, he is, for example, one of those people that is super technical. He has an IT background. He showed me videos of how he built his own mining rigs in his house. Right? We did a webinar together. Yeah. Yeah, that was really funny to see. But yeah, look, I'm not super technical. I don't have an IT background. Neither do I want to get super technical or acquire the skills. But I figured if he can do it, he's a musician, he's a normal guy, not super technical, then probably I can do it too. So that evening, I went back home, I opened my laptop and I typed in how to get started mining Bitcoin. And I remember seeing pages and pages full of videos of engineers explaining how they built their own custom built mining setups, how they wrote their own custom software to overclock the chips in their mining rigs to maximize the performance. And it was just so super technical that, you know, the sensation where your brain just pushes against your skull and you feel like it's almost exploding from all of the new content that's coming at you. So I just closed my laptop and I went to bed. The next morning I reconsidered my approach because I know that there are different ways to go about learning a particular skill or model. So one way of learning is reading books, another way of learning is by audio, another way of learning is by diagrams, visual, and the fourth way of learning is by doing. Yeah. So I'm someone, I need to do stuff, I need to fail, I need to learn, I need to course correct, I need to gain experience. Because I'm dyslexic, I'm not a great reader, so I need to do. I know that for myself. So within the next week or two, I booked a ticket to Kazakhstan because from all of my research, I found out that Kazakhstan was the very best location to host Bitcoin mining machines at that point in time because the energy in Amsterdam was way too high. And in Kazakhstan, the energy was super cheap. There were really favorable conditions, but I didn't know anyone. So I found an accountant. That accountant basically made some introductions. I got introduced to a group of friends. They introduced me to more friends. And ultimately, I met my future business partners who I built a Bitcoin mining farm with, 20,000 machines, our own power plant, our own gas field. And yeah, this was right before the
power plant and what's gas field?
So Kazakhstan has a lot of natural resources. Oil and gas is below the soil. You have different locations where different types of resources are in the ground, basically. So a gas field is where there's a lot of natural gas in the ground. Yep. So we build a power plant which extracts the gas from the gas field through a turbine. It transforms it to energy, and that powered the mining farm with cheap energy.
So you have your own electricity.
Yeah, our own electricity. Yeah.
You're not dependent on anyone.
No, with that mining facility, we were not dependent on anyone. No. So yeah.
Can you walk me even like what is Bitcoin mining, and why is it different than like a different investment?
Yeah. So the best way to explain Bitcoin mining is by comparing it with the traditional banking system. So whenever you're sending money through the bank, two things happen. Number one, money gets deducted from your bank account and it gets added to someone else's bank account. And the second thing that happens is you pay a transaction fee to the bank for processing that transaction. But with Bitcoin mining, or with Bitcoin, whenever you're sending money through the Bitcoin network, there's no such thing as a bank. There's no HSBC, Bank of America, JP Morgan, Rabobank, ING, Knap, whatever. There's no bank that processes the transactions. But you have Bitcoin miners that process the transactions. And Bitcoin miners are like the individuals and companies that own special machines that process all the transactions happening on the network. So they are in fact the banking system of Bitcoin. So whenever you are doing a transaction on the Bitcoin network, Bitcoin gets deducted from your wallet and it gets added to someone else's wallet. Yep. And you pay a fee to the network for processing that transaction.
So you become the bank when you are a
Bitcoin miner. Yeah, we are the banking system of Bitcoin. So because of us, people can do transactions in Bitcoin. Without us, there is no Bitcoin. We are literally the backbone of Bitcoin.
So Bitcoin mining is basically checking a lot of data because there is this for how do you call blockchain,
Yeah.
right? So basically, when I send you money on Bitcoin, there is 4 people or 4 Bitcoin mining, 4 machines that know about this transaction, right?
More.
Oh, more.
There's like hundreds of thousands, if not millions of machines.
That know about this transaction.
Yeah.
And that confirm that this is all true. And if one is corrupted and one says, hey, this is not true, then the other people will tell them, hey, this is true, you are corrupted.
Yeah, basically.
And that's how we know it's true.
Yeah, basically the best thing, the best way to explain it is, let's say that I have a piece of paper, and on this piece of paper, I note all of the transactions that we are having.
Yeah.
So if you give me $10 today, I note Sam gave me $10.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I give you $3 back, minus 3.
Yeah.
The day after I give you another $5 back, so minus 5. Then you're ultimately left with $2 in your bank account.
Yeah.
But that's all noted on my piece of paper. Yeah. But what if I have bad intentions? Then I can commit fraud. So instead of writing that I gave you $5, I maybe manipulate the number so that ultimately on paper I have more money and I've cheated you. Yeah. Now, the equivalent of the blockchain, or a simple way to explain the blockchain is, if I have a copy of that piece of paper, you have a copy of the piece of paper, and everyone here in Bali has a copy of that piece of paper where all of these transactions are noted, then yeah, I cannot commit fraud because everyone has a copy of that document, so they can call me out on my bullshit. And that is why Satoshi Nakamoto, when he created Bitcoin in 2008, he looked at the banking system and he thought, wow, governments and banks have way too much control and power over our money. They basically, we cannot look inside of their organization, see what they're doing with all of the money. And in fact, it's publicly known that that banks are involved in money laundering, working with cartels to move money left and right, working with corrupt politicians. Like, they're being billed hundreds of millions of dollars every year because they are doing the shady stuff, you know? So Satoshi Nakamoto created a decentralized system where there's no single source of power within the whole network because everything is decentralized across all the miners.
So Satoshi Nakamoto looked at all the banks and saw how much power they have, how much corruption there is existing, and then, well, because of that also we are losing money every day, right? Because of the corruption in the banks.
Yeah, for example, the banks created the 2008 financial crisis, one of the biggest financial crises in history.
But also deflation, or how do you call it?
Inflation.
Inflation is happening because of the banks.
Inflation is happening because of the central bank who prints more money.
Yeah. So it's all corruption, basically.
Yeah, inflation, you can call it theft. They're basically stealing 2% of your purchasing power every single year because they don't have enough money to basically fill the gaps in their balance sheet. So they print more money.
2% or 10%, I heard.
Depends. On average, per year, it should be around 2%. That's what most economists say is actually a healthy inflation level. Yeah. But like if you look at the post-COVID year, like that was 10, 12, 18%, even in some countries, way higher.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, okay, cool. So Bitcoin basically solves all of that.
Yeah.
And then Bitcoin miners are the bank.
Yeah. Yeah, we're the banking system of Bitcoin.
Why is that better than any other investment?
Why is it better than any other investment? Well, look, I'm going to be open and transparent. I don't believe in going all in on any investment. I am always diversified. So I invest in real estate, crypto, stocks, watches. But when it comes to crypto, I only believe in Bitcoin. I don't believe in altcoins because statistically, I mean, there's no such thing as not believing in altcoins. Altcoins exist, but I don't believe altcoins are a great investment.
Yep.
Because right now there's like tens of millions of different altcoins out there, and 97% of all altcoins will not survive the next bear market. So I'm a probability guy, and I like probabilities to be in my favor, not in my disadvantage. So many rookie investors, they will go for altcoins because they believe altcoins can get them 10x, 100x, 1000x returns. But in reality, they get minus 90, minus 95, minus 97% returns, because it's way more likely that it will go down than that it will go up. Because there's only a lucky few who cash out exactly at the right time. But if you don't, then your investment basically goes down the drain with altcoins.
Yep.
Now, I only believe in Bitcoin because Bitcoin has been here now for, almost 16 years. And over those 16 years, Bitcoin has only gone up and up and up and up. Of course, it goes with cycles, historically 4-year cycles, where we see a bull market and a bear market. But every time Bitcoin, after 4 years, has been way higher than it is in the previous 4 years. And that just shows me that there's a lot of adoption, that Bitcoin is here to stay, and that over time it will only go up. And I believe in the school of thought of Michael Saylor, the founder of MicroStrategy. He believes that one Bitcoin could be worth $1 million by 2030 and could be worth like $13 million in the next 20 years. I absolutely personally believe that that is possible, and I'm going to tell you why. Money is only becoming worth less over time because of inflation, and wealthy people are slowly discovering that Bitcoin is the only truly scarce asset out there, because you can build more houses. We built this villa, for example. You can produce more watches. You can issue more stocks. You can issue more bonds. You can print more money. You can mine more gold. You can mine more silver, copper. Almost anything in life you can create more of, except for Bitcoin, because there will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin that will ever be in circulation. Now, why are paintings of Picasso so expensive?
Because he's dead.
Because first of all, he's a great artist, and he's dead. Yeah, his art is discontinued. He cannot produce more art. So Picasso has a limited amount of paintings. And that's why many wealthy individuals and even foundations and whatever, they know that if they can acquire a Picasso, there's often many other wealthy people that would be willing to pay more to gain ownership over that Picasso. So art, really great art pieces, are a really great investment because they're so scarce. There's only one or only a couple out there. Similar with Bitcoin, there's only 21 million Bitcoin. There's more than 8 billion people in the world. And there's literally hundreds of trillions of wealth in the world, all looking for a place to park that wealth in order to hedge themselves against inflation, to protect themselves against inflation, to multiply. So slowly but surely, I believe right now,
all money, that's a quote, all money does is looking for a safe place to grow.
Smart money.
Smart money.
Yeah.
But smart money.
So in the financial markets, you have dumb money and smart money. Dumb money is like the average investor. We call it the retail investor. They don't have the right skills, the right mindset. They don't have the right blueprint. They just approach the market like a casino. So these are the people that just, take stock tips from their friends, family members. They want to make some quick money. They invest it in a stock or a crypto altcoin, and they lose their money. Then smart money are wealthy individuals who actually know how to handle money. We call those accredited investors.
What's that? Accredited.
Accredited investors. The definition is slightly different around the world. I believe in the US, I believe you need to have a net income of at least 300,000 per year, or you need to have either more than $1 million or a couple of million in net worth, and you need to have an accountant to show you and prove that you actually have that money.
Yep.
So according to the regulatory framework, that means you're an accredited investor. Basically, it means that you know how to handle money because you have money.
Yep.
Well, that's actually not true. If you have money, it doesn't mean that you know how to handle money, but at least you know how to make money, and you're not someone that they need to necessarily protect.
Yep.
Then you have hedge funds, you have Wall Street, you have those kind of guys. So that are managing large sums of money.
Yep.
That's what we call smart money. And smart money knows that money is only becoming worth less, and they're trying to find the best possible deal or the best possible asset to allocate in order to outpace inflation or to multiply their money. They have teams of analysts, they have financial advisors that all help them to park their money in the right assets and the right investment vehicles.
Yep.
So coming back to why I believe Bitcoin mining is a great investment. I myself only believe in Bitcoin, in the crypto space, in my crypto bucket, within my portfolio. And
is there a mining for other coins like Solana?
Yeah, you can mine for other coins. No, you cannot mine for Solana. You can mine, for example, Cadena. Back in the days, you could mine Ethereum. However, again, I would highly recommend people not to touch altcoin mining for the same reasons that 95% of all altcoins will not, or 97% of all altcoins will not survive the next bear market.
XRP, also no.
You cannot mine XRP.
Okay.
And I also wouldn't touch XRP.
I
Because
lost a lot of money in XRP.
honestly, just if you look at the statistics, over the long term, only Bitcoin is showing really great signs.
Yeah. One reason I listen to you a lot is because you already made me a lot of money. Like, not only a friend, you're also you coached me indirectly, and you helped me scale my business a lot. But also, you told me to buy Bitcoin a few years ago when I just met you. I remember talking, and I was like, okay, well, 5K, and it tripled since then.
Yeah.
And so since then, I pay a lot of attention to what you say.
But also, you paid a lot of attention to what I said, but you also ventured out on your own experience. And I remember that you're trying to outcompete the market by talking to AI and trying to find small coins that could 10x, 100x. How did that go for you?
It was okay. I don't think I lost money. I think I made money, but I lost time. And you are one of my friends who believes really much in Bitcoin and who's successful. And I have another friend that has a company around Bitcoin, and he has like you, but he has data that tracks Bitcoin during a really long period, and he's created like predictors of where it will go and things like that. And he makes a ton of money doing that. And he just we had a conversation, and the conclusion was Bitcoin will 100x, and he believes in it truly, over 10 years. So 100x over 10 years. And you know, I can play games with stocks and with other coins, but I don't think I can do 100x.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it's easy. You just put it into Bitcoin. So I went all into Bitcoin, and then that's it. I don't think about it anymore. I can focus on my business.
Exactly. Well, those are the three things Grant Cardone taught me. Number one, you need to learn how to make money. Number two, you need to learn how to save money. Number three, you need to learn how to multiply your money. Well, what most people often swap around is making money and multiplying money. If you're sitting behind your screen trying to make money in the financial markets, you're actively trading your time for hopefully some kind of profit. But that's not how you should do it. You should have either a well-paying job or a company, a business, and you should invest all of your time and energy into leveling up your skills, growing your business, or climbing up the ladder so that you can increase your income here. Then you save that money and then you multiply it. And I believe that your investments shouldn't be something that you actively manage. Your investments are something that should be passive. You buy it, or you position yourself in an asset, or you implement a strategy, and time is your best wingman.
Yeah. We know a lot of, like, I remember us getting dinner with some friends, and a lot of them would be traders, right? What do you think about them?
Most traders are broke. They don't make money with trading. Statistically, 95% of all traders lose money over the long term.
And lose time.
So much valuable time, yeah.
And hair.
Hair, everything, yeah. Sleepless nights. Yeah, no, when someone tells me they're a trader, honestly, I know this industry really well because many of my friends are in that industry. Most people within the trading industry that make money are not the traders. They're people that are either selling courses or that are selling signals or sending traffic to a broker, and all other people are just losing money. Literally, the business model of a broker or an exchange is they make money when someone else loses money.
Right. Yeah.
And exchanges and brokers, they make a lot of money because most people lose money. And there's also situations where, for example, exchanges, because they see all of the data, for example, they know when people are trading short, then they will on purpose buy a lot of the asset in order to liquidate them. So even the exchanges are playing against you, right? The market is not made for the average person to make money trading. That's why 95% of all people lose money trading. And now everyone believes, yeah, but I'm part of the 5% that is different. We all love to believe that we are different. You're not different. It's statistics. That's just how the market is made. Wall Street knows how to make money long term. But the average investor, I'm sorry, but the game is rigged against you. That's why I believe that the only real way for you to build wealth in the financial markets is to buy really great assets at really great prices, and to just be patient and to let time do its thing.
Why do Bitcoin mining when you can just buy Bitcoin?
So there's pros and cons to each of those strategies. So for me, the key word is always diversification. I believe in Bitcoin, and I want to have two great strategies in order to maximize my profits with Bitcoin. If you buy Bitcoin on the open market, we call that DCAing, dollar cost averaging. That means that every period you invest a certain amount of money in the market. Let's say every month you invest $1,000 into Bitcoin, and you do that consistently. That's what we call dollar cost averaging. Yeah. Now, the nice thing about dollar cost averaging is that, you know, at one point in time today, if I invest $1,000 into Bitcoin, I know exactly how much Bitcoin I'm getting, and I'm getting it instantly on my wallet, and that's it. The downside of dollar cost averaging, let's say, you know, you believe the thesis of your friend who is watching all of the data, and he believes that Bitcoin can 100x in the next 10 years. I think 100x it's a lot. Very optimistic, very bullish. That's what we say in financial markets. But I do believe Bitcoin can go to 1 million in 2030 and 13 million in the next 20 years. If you believe that, then over time, your acquisition cost of Bitcoin is only going to become more and more and more as the price of Bitcoin goes up. So, and I know human psychology. I know everyone, when they approach buying an asset on the financial markets, there's two ways to approach it. You can either look forward into the future, like your friend. He looks at the data and he extrapolates the data and he makes an estimate of what something can be worth in the future. Or people look back, like, oh yeah, 10 years ago Bitcoin was worth $1,000 or $500, so now it's very expensive. So they stop buying it now because they believe it's expensive. And that's part of the human psychology of why we humans were always our biggest enemies, because our mind constantly inhibits us of taking the actions that we should actually be taking. Oftentimes, we should be buying when we should be selling, and we should be selling when we should be buying. But because we're such emotional beings, we do the exact opposite and we make stupid decisions. So if you want to manually buy Bitcoin every single month, then I know at one point you're going to probably tell yourself it's too expensive and you're going to stop buying. Now, what is the benefit of Bitcoin mining? So with Bitcoin mining, you are investing in machines and you're paying an electricity bill every single month.
Yep.
And with Bitcoin mining, you earn Bitcoin regardless if the market goes up or down. Those machines produce Bitcoin for you.
Yep.
And it takes the emotions out of the equation because it's no longer manual buys that you need to do. You don't need to log into your Binance or whatever platform that you're using and click the buy button or sell button. These machines are just doing it for you every single day, 24/7, completely automated.
How much do you make today from one machine? Like how much? Like I bought a machine from you.
Yeah.
How much do I make in one day?
In one day, I'm not sure, but in 1 month, let's say probably like 0.003 Bitcoin per month.
Talk USD to me.
In USD, I don't like to think USD because that is not the whole point. The whole point is to stack Bitcoin because the price of Bitcoin is volatile.
Right.
And the price of Bitcoin, for example, by the time that people are watching this video, the price of Bitcoin is already totally different.
Right. But I'm trying to think like from an investment perspective. I bought a Bitcoin mining machine, which cost me X amount.
Yeah.
When do I make it back?
So with Bitcoin mining, you're always looking at a 4 to 5 year investment horizon because that's a lifetime of one machine. So basically the way that you would go about this is you buy a machine, you accumulate Bitcoin for a period of 4 to 5 years, and then at one point in the future you sell your Bitcoin and then you calculate your ROI. So we always assume a 4 to 5 year window because the cycle of Bitcoin is 4 years. Every 4 years, historically, the price of Bitcoin is way higher than it is today. So today, the price of Bitcoin, there's like a live stock market ticker next to my laptop.
This
Anyways, currently the price of Bitcoin is around $100,000 per Bitcoin.
Yeah.
But in 4 years, the price of Bitcoin might be 300,000, 400,000, 500,000.
Yeah.
So I'm not selling my Bitcoin today. And neither are my investors. They're only focused on, I just want to accumulate as much Bitcoin as possible. And I assume that the price of Bitcoin will be way higher in 4 years than it is today. And then when they take profit, then they calculate their ROI and they'll notice that they've made a very handsome ROI along the way.
Which is how much?
Depends on the price of Bitcoin.
Right.
But it can be, I would say, look, I'm always very, I'm not a moon boy. I don't like to promise the world. I always like to be more conservative than over optimistic.
Yeah.
But I know and believe that historically Bitcoin mining has outperformed many traditional investments like stocks, bonds, real estate. And if you mine the right way, like for example how we do it, you mine with the right machines in the right locations with low, cheap green energy, then ultimately you end up with more Bitcoin than if you would have simply bought Bitcoin on the open market. And more Bitcoin at a higher Bitcoin price means better ROI. So in our current ROI estimates, ROI can be somewhere between either like 70% all the way up to 600%.
Okay, so I buy a Bitcoin. Let's say I pay you 50K for a few machines. Right?
Yeah.
Which people do much more than that, right?
Yeah.
So they buy a lot of machines at your place, and then in 4 years, you say it's between 70 to 600?
70% to 600%, yeah.
So if I paid you 100K, in 4 years, I have 170K or
700.
700K.
Yeah.
That's good.
It's a big range, but it depends on what Bitcoin is doing. So obviously the higher Bitcoin goes, the more profitable mining becomes.
But it can be also less than 70%.
Depends on what Bitcoin does and when you sell.
Yeah.
But that's why we always tell our clients to assume a 4 to 5 year time horizon.
Not only that, one of the reasons that I bought Bitcoin mining machine with you was because tax. I can pay less taxes.
Okay, yeah.
I was supposed, or I'm supposed to pay a lot of tax, and then it demotivated me from working a lot. And then I was like, well, where can I spend my money so I don't get taxed on it? Because right now everything I'm buying, I'm getting 50% cheaper than it actually is, right? Because yeah. And so that's one of the reasons I bought.
You know what one of my mentors once said? Dan Peña, the $1 trillion man. He said, if you're worried about paying taxes, you're not making enough money. So oftentimes, like people in the beginning of their entrepreneurial journey, they're so worried about making taxes, and that's like taking negative brain cycles on you, you know, like why spend brain power thinking about it? Instead, you should be rewire your brain and think like, how can I just make more money? Obviously, tax optimization is really important. Your company is registered probably in the Netherlands, which is a really high tax jurisdiction, and you can easily migrate to another jurisdiction with lower taxes. But again, your mind should be focused on how can I make more money. Because if wherever your attention goes, you know, that will grow.
Yeah. I tell it to my family all the time. With like, stop trying to save money. Just put the same energy into how to make money.
Yeah, no one became a billionaire by saving money.
You say the same thing about taxes.
Yeah.
Don't try to save money.
No, obviously tax optimization is great. But I do believe as an entrepreneur, especially in the early stages of your entrepreneurial journey, you should be focusing on how can I just make more money. Because that is mostly a skill thing. You need to accumulate and stack skills. Once you stack skills and you know how to make money, then you can easily migrate and just do the same blueprint somewhere else.
Yeah, true. One of the biggest things that you keep telling me is, Sam, you're out of focus, just focus again.
Yeah.
The boring business coach.
Yeah. There's this book called Good to Great by Jim Collins.
Yeah.
And it studies the best companies, or it studies good companies and great companies, and the difference between good and great companies. So what do we mean with great companies? Companies that consistently outperform the market and perform much better than their competitors. Now, one of the principles of good to great is the good companies, they think like a fox. So what does a fox do? A fox, they're very sly. They always look for new strategies, how they can con their victim and how they can attack them and overwhelm them with a new trick or new tactic. Now, a hedgehog has a different strategy. A hedgehog is a very simple animal, and it knows how to do only one thing. It can curl up in a little ball with spikes, and then no animal will touch it. No elephant can step on it because it hurts. No tiger will attack it because the spikes hurt, and it just survives. And in the book, Good to Great, he says that if you want to build a great company, you need to become a hedgehog. You need to become good at doing just one thing and doing that one thing for as long as possible. And many entrepreneurs or companies, they're like foxes. They try to find a new shiny object, a new tactic, a new this, a new that. And they basically keep changing their company every 3 months because there's a new development, a new shiny object, a new technology, a new AI tool. And if you just keep changing constantly, then you'll never grow or scale. And you'll never last.
Yeah. That's the lesson I need to learn now. Okay, back to investments. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what were your best investments?
What was my best investment? I mean, my best investment is the best asset of the past decade, Bitcoin. So Bitcoin has outperformed every other asset in the past 10 years, let's say 2010 to 2020. It generated around 230% per year. Well, I got onto Bitcoin in 2016, so I wasn't that early, but still, I mean, it's a really great way to multiply your money. I've gone through 2 cycles now, and it has really helped me to accelerate my wealth building journey for sure.
So you 100x, no, you 10x your investments?
Yeah, so I got into Bitcoin when it was 5,000. Yeah. So 20x even.
20x.
Yeah.
Wow. That's really good.
Yeah, but you need to be patient, and I didn't sell. So you just you need to rewire your brain from trying to trade, because traders will buy Bitcoin at 5,000, sell it at 10,000, and then they lose out on the rest of the growth. So that's why, again, ultimately, when I compare my results to many of my trader friends who are sitting behind their computer screens the whole day and trying to time the market, I'm pretty sure that my investing results over time are way better than their results.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing that I did that my friend inspired me to do, or he didn't say that, but unconsciously I just did it. I replaced USD or Euro with Bitcoin.
Yeah, good.
Like I just don't hold anything else other than stock, a little bit of stocks, but mostly Bitcoin. And whenever I need money to pay something, I just sell a little bit and then use that.
Okay, I would always hold some fiat money, euros, USD, because you're always going to have some expenses that need to be paid.
Yeah. So I sell a little bit for 1 week, for example, or for a few days, and then.
Okay, but the price is volatile, so you don't always want to sell. There's days where you don't want to sell because the market is red, so you lose more money on those days. So I would not put 100% of your liquidity into crypto or Bitcoin specifically, but definitely I would say I would always keep 3 to 6 months of life expenses in cash.
Yep.
And the rest you should try to invest it in order to maximize your profits.
Okay.
And there's always this, sometimes friends talk about their net worth, you know, what is your net worth? And they come with these figures of, I'm worth $1 million, $10 million, whatever. I think the best way to actually measure your net worth is to measure your net worth in the amount of Bitcoin. How many Bitcoins are you worth? Because over time, we here on this podcast, or how you want to call it, we both believe that Bitcoin is going to go up in the future. So why would you not make it your mission to accumulate as much Bitcoin as possible?
It is. Yeah. But so you're saying you replaced USD in your mind with Bitcoin?
Yeah.
So you're like, hey, how much is this juice? Oh,
no, I don't think it, because that's like a very small fraction of Bitcoin, yeah.
Okay. All right, so what do you recommend people to invest in? Like, let's say I have my first million, where would you send that money to? And why?
First of all, you don't start investing when you have 1 million. So I would recommend everyone to start small and start early, because it's like going to the gym. If you don't know how to invest with $100, you won't know how to invest with 1 million. It's just a perfect recipe to lose all of your money.
Right.
So first, learn how to invest. Secondly, I would tell you to diversify. Mm-hmm. So with diversification, I don't mean, again, that you should spray and pray, spread your eggs over too many different baskets and invest in things you don't understand. So only invest in things that you really truly understand and believe in. For me, the ultimate test is always, can you explain it in very simple words to your mom, your aunt, your neighbor, your barber, your soccer coach, your kickboxing trainer, and so that it's even simple for them to understand, and logical why you're making that investment.
Yeah.
And then here's also the thing, you're asking me what I would invest in, but my goals in life are not your goals in life. So investing is something which is really personal.
Because you understand different things that I don't understand.
I have different goals. Maybe I'm striving for cash flow, or maybe I'm striving for capital appreciation, which are two total different things.
Well, we both want to be just the richest we can, right?
Rich? What is rich?
Well, the most amount of USD we can.
What is rich? That is the most amount of USD?
You can, yeah.
Is that rich?
Yeah.
Is that really rich?
The most amount of power you can acquire, yeah.
I wouldn't say that's rich.
Okay.
I mean, I would say that 5 years ago, 6 years, 7 years ago, I would also think about being rich in terms of money. But the true essence in life, it's about
money.
what the money can get you. It's mostly about freedom. It's about being able to take care of the people around you. For me, being healthy is also being rich. So what do I want? Do I want cash flow, or do I want to just lock my money up inside an asset and have it grow over time? Those are two different strategies. So, for example, do I want to invest in rental properties in Bali and they pay me every single month, and with that money I can pay for my lifestyle? Or because I already have a business which is cash flowing, can I invest in Bitcoin and just hold Bitcoin for the next 20 years without selling it because I don't need cash flow? Those are different things to consider. So things that you should ask yourself is, what do you really value in life? How does your ideal life look like? Do you need cash flow, or do you need capital appreciation? How can you diversify? Are you going to, for example, if you're investing in real estate, are you going to invest in one country or multiple countries? Those are all really personal questions. And I know that you wanted me to say, invest in this stock, invest in this crypto project, but that's not how investing works. And I highly recommend everyone, if you're just asking for investment tips, then you're not getting investing. That's not what investing is about. Investing is a personal journey.
Yeah, and I guess investing is also bigger than it sounds, right? Investing is not just like that thing that you'd say, oh, you put a lot of money here. Investing is also investing your time. Investing is also investing money into, buying flowers for your girlfriend so she has a better mood so you can work harder.
Yeah.
And investing into, one of my biggest investments actually was paying for a website. Like I always oh no, I'm smart, I can build my website, and I did it for a long time. But then I was like, I have this money just doing nothing in my bank account.
Yeah.
I should just spend it. Like I should just make it work for me. So I hired a developer that was a little bit better than me. She did SEO, she did a whole design, she helped me with branding and everything. And suddenly I get contacted by Netflix or by different companies because my website was findable and put me in a different position that most other freelancers weren't in.
Yeah.
So that's another example, right?
Again, it comes down to the three things of Grant Cardone. You need to learn how to make money, how to save money, and how to multiply your money. The things that you are describing is the first stage, learning how to make money. Because maybe for you it's investing in a website which allows you to make more money, which then allows you to save more money, and then you can invest more money. In my case, if I give flowers to my girlfriend, make sure my girlfriend is happy, then she can take care of me, make sure my health is maximized, make sure my happiness is maximized, so that again I can make more money, save more money, and then ultimately multiply more money. And I feel like most people ultimately should first invest in themselves, make sure that they have the right mindset, the right skill sets, then their cash flow will start to grow. Then they need to learn how to manage their money, and then based on what their goals are in life, make their own investment game plan?
My brother, he always asks for money, and he's in debt and things like that. And every time he has money, he makes a little bit of money, he spends it on food, or on, he spoils himself with food or with a new PlayStation or whatever. Those are probably the worst investments you can do with your money, I guess.
Yeah, so
He's very emotional.
Yeah, that all comes down to
Do you want more?
no, I'm okay, you can have it. That comes down to what Robert Kiyosaki explains in his book, which was an absolute eye-opener for me. So the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, in that book Robert Kiyosaki explains in very simple words so that anyone can understand it, how you can become financially free. And there's two things that you can spend your money on. You can spend your money on liabilities. Those are simply things that take money out of your pocket and then you lose that money forever. Let's say clothes, a PlayStation, food, travel. Those don't pay you back in any financial way.
Well, is that true?
It's an experience.
I think flights can get you deals and clothes can get you deals.
Yeah, then it's a business expense.
Yeah, it's an investment.
Okay, that's something different.
Okay, you're talking about something else.
Yeah, I'm talking about something else. On the other hand, you can also invest in assets. For example, your business.
Yeah.
So within your business, you can invest in a flight where hopefully you're going to get more money back in return.
Yeah.
Or you can invest in stocks, which appreciate in value over time or pay you dividends. Or you can invest in
coaches.
A coach, which gives you knowledge, which allows you to grow your income over time.
Yeah. Okay, amazing. Is there anything you want to add more?
We've been talking for a while.
Yeah.
Anything that I would like to add?
Well, how do I buy a mining machine if I decide to do it?
Reach out to us at epicmining.io, www.epicmining.io. Maybe you can link it in the description below.
Yeah.
You can always schedule a call with us and see
if it makes sense.
Whether mining makes sense for you. So we always give an explanation of how mining works. We always show behind the scenes footage of how our mining operation works. We always show the most recent offer of what mining machine we're offering, what the potential ROI is of that mining machine and how the whole process works.
Yeah.
And by the end of the call, you can decide for yourself whether this is something that you want to do or not.
Yeah, and how many machines do you have managing?
80,000.
80,000.
Yeah, spread across different locations
that's a
around
lot.
the world. Yeah,
how much money is that making?
A lot, a lot of money. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. And Ethiopia is your biggest location right now, right?
Yeah, Ethiopia is our prime location. We've opened up a second location there and a third location there. So yeah, last year we grew a lot in Ethiopia. Because Ethiopia has a surplus of cheap green energy. They have the 7th largest hydro dam in the world, which is producing an abundance of cheap green energy. And we have made a really great partnership with the local government and local energy company to use that energy. And we pay them a good amount of money for that, which allows them to further develop their country, to build more energy infrastructure, and to basically reinvest in the growth and the future of their country, yeah.
They have amazing food, Ethiopia.
Yeah, have you tried it?
Yeah, I love it. They don't have it in Bali. That's like the biggest thing.
Where did you try Ethiopian food?
In so many places. In the Netherlands, I'd go
a
lot. Yeah.
It's like this sour pancake, huh?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
It's so good. Is it better in Ethiopia or outside of Ethiopia?
I've never tried it outside of Ethiopia, but always when I'm there, I eat it.
New business idea?
What? Ethiopian restaurant?
Please open an Ethiopian restaurant, yeah.
Maybe, who knows, one day.
All right, thanks.
You're welcome, man.
That was good.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah. All right.
Hoe lang hebben we gesproken?
Veel. Ik weet niet hoe lang. Wacht, kan ik checken? 1 uur en 40 minuten.